Welcome to Mediocre Main Character. I'm playing Matches of Matrimony, a Pride and Prejudice tale. Alright, so back to the Captain Wentworth edition. Let's actually ask him, was that while you were on the Laconia? Captain Wentworth looked at me for a moment, as if considering something. It was only for a moment, but it hit me deeply. Could he feel something for me still? Well, he likes us more. No, it was while I was on the Asp. Terrible vessel, hardly fit for service, certainly unfit for women. I should never have taken them if the man whose family I was transporting wasn't a man for whom I should do anything. Mr. Harville? Indeed. I should think of traveling the world as a great adventure. Of course, Lydianne. And not all women need to be so very comfortable, you know. That is true. She's wiser than I thought. We don't expect to be in smooth water all our days. Lady Lucas is coming in with the classic punches. When you're married, you'll understand, right? When once married people begin to attack me with, oh, you'll think very differently when you're married, I can only say, no, I shall not. And then they'll say again, yes, you will. And there's an end of it. It's been pleasant meeting you, Miss Lydianne, and to see you again, Miss Mediocre. Alone with our thoughts and our ratty little book that we take everywhere. Lydianne, for her part, seemed to be following Captain Wentworth, apparently smitten by the idea of life traveling the world by sea. I found my feelings for him remained much unchanged. We're still in love with Captain Wentworth. I still felt deeply for him, but he seemed to hardly notice me. Why shouldn't you have spoken about Captain Wentworth before? He seems perfectly charming. When I asked him about you, he said you were so altered he should not have known you again. That I was altered beyond his knowledge? Anyone saying such a thing would have left me deeply mortified. That it came from him left me hopeless, for certainly he must be right. What does she mean, destroyed our youth and bloom? Oh, manly open look. No matter how he saw me, I saw the same Frederick Wentworth. Though he certainly had not spoken the words with the intent that I would hear them, I started to wonder if it wasn't some relief that I had. With this somewhat happy thought in my mind, I set out, quite determined to enjoy the trip to Whitwell, as though nothing amiss had happened. Okay, so we're off to Whitwell. Oof, I'm gonna skip this manually. The gist is that Colonel Brandon gets a letter with some bad news, and Lady Lucas starts to speculate what the reason is. A trip to London, shall we not go? Yeah, let's go. We're so tired. I'm just gonna let her rest all week. It's your holiday, girl. Enjoy London. It's the weekend. Boisterous ride indeed. There we are. Happily in London, glorious view. No pleasure in it. Hey, wasn't this the same title as the last one with Bingley? Like when Bingley's sisters came to visit us? Except this time they're meeting Jane because it was Jane's life that we tried to steal. Gotcha. Oh, gross. They're so gross. I can't believe we tolerated them. We get it. Miss Darcy's fantastic. Ugh. As Caroline said this, she looked directly at Jane, whose angelic countenance seemed to be somewhat shaken. Such ill-timed praise of another at Jane's expense was intolerable. I'm going to take issue with what's been said because I'm doing it for my sister. They left. Good riddance. I don't need you to like me. My dearest Mediocre, you will, I'm sure, be incapable of triumphing at my expense when I confess myself to have been entirely deceived in Miss Bingley's regard for me. Yeah, This is tough. I don't want Jane to be trusting. I want her to take care of herself, but I also don't want to hurt her. I'm happy you're trusting. It is admirable and it's beautiful. You know, you're a very sweet person, Jane. I love you. I love your life, and I love your husband. Oh, she's giving them the benefit of the doubt. She's so sweet. Don't give up on Mr. Bingley, Jane. You're gonna get him. But he's made no effort to call. Time will see you right, Jane. Your goodness is apparent to all. Mr. Bingley's sisters will not be able to keep Mr. Bingley from seeing it. And remember his love for you. Just be patient. This really is a Justice for Jane episode. After spending the morning indoors, enjoying the view of London from a small upstairs drawing room I'd taken a fancy to, I was preparing to go outside for a walk as Lady Lucas entered the room. Ready to take a jaunt around town, are we? Well, don't let me stop you. I'm sure there are many more men to be found on the street than under this roof. Okay, listen, I really like Lady Lucas, but even I'm getting sick of her constantly, matchmaking. Calm down. With some apprehension, I felt the need to stop Lady Lucas before she conjured some new gossip to share. I'm quite sure I don't know what you mean. Your sister! Did you not see the way she has behaved around Captain Wentworth? Completely captivated. Not that I didn't see it coming. What a fine match that will make. Okay, that's ridiculous. Lydianne and Captain Wentworth? I don't think so. Lydianne's basically flirting with everyone she sees, okay? Captain Wentworth is ours. Is there no one to help me? The beautiful morning and new surroundings made taking walks through the town an exciting adventure that was much looked forward to. She's walking to Big Ben, that's nice. The adventure only improved when Colonel Brandon called on us, with Captain Wentworth at his side, intent on taking a walk through town. Lydianne, for her part, seemed still smitten by the captain, which only added to my pain and feeling cut off from his heart. Oh God, is that the twist in this game? Is this the twist? Is it like, if we don't get Captain Wentworth, he'll marry our little sister? Oh my God, if Captain Wentworth ends up with Lydianne, I think I'll quit the whole game. That's ridiculous. We had not traveled far when we came to a point where the paths split. Ah. We were forced down a steep flight of stairs and all carefully walked down them except for Lydianne. Oh God. Her sensibilities in full display, she felt she must instead jump down from them and be caught by Captain Wentworth. He indulged her, but once safely down, to show her enjoyment, she instantly ran back up the steps to jump down again. Lydianne, this game has run its course. The distance is too great. Come down safely now. I am determined I will jump, Captain. Lydianne! What? Captain watched in horror as Lydianne jumped and was not able to catch her, so she fell lifeless to the street. Is there any wound? I see no blood nor bruise. Lydianne! She's not breathing. Is there no one to help me? Colonel Brandon, rubber hands, rubber temples. Here are salts. Take them, take them. Colonel Brandon obeyed, doing all that I asked, but in vain. Wow. Oh, to be so undone. What of her father and mother? This has taken a very dark turn. Do we lose Lydianne? A surgeon. True, a surgeon, this instant. Captain Wentworth moved as if to immediately go in search of a surgeon. I wasn't entirely sure Captain Wentworth should go, because Colonel Brandon knows London much better, right? However, my lack of willpower silenced me. God, I thought we were past building up all of our stats. Captain Wentworth left in haste, leaving us little solace in his absence. He had an eager sentiment to be doing something. We carried Lydianne back to the house and waited. God! This is crazy. So Colonel Brandon and Captain Wentworth are both out in London looking for a doctor. Is she awake? Just barely. She breathes, but her breaths are shallow. Gosh, I found a surgeon. He's coming this moment and I'll convey him directly. Captain Wentworth, who had spent most of 7 years at sea, was not as familiar with London as Colonel Brandon. Okay, so not having enough willpower at this stage might lead to us losing Lydianne. I can't believe this. What? Oh my god. Lydianne's dead? Lydianne's dead! This is ridiculous! I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We killed our sister by not having enough willpower. This game is diabolical. My god. Sadness gripped me. I saw Captain Wentworth through my blurred vision leave for what I was sure to be not a dissimilar duration. We'd spent so much of those final hours together, sitting in grief-stricken silence. Wow. And he blames himself. He swore that if anything befell her, he would find the first ship that he could and set off for the farthest port he could find. I knew I would never see him again. They were both equally lost to me now. Shortly after Lydianne's passing, Jane and I returned home. The days possessed a quiet that made me wish for their end. My body felt hollow and apt to crumble at the slightest touch. For days I lived in misery, unsure of time, unaware of those around me, even when they spoke to me. Oh my goodness! As the weeks passed, a calm began to settle over me. I think it began as the first buds of spring broke through the winter's icy grasp. Life was being reborn yet again, in a million brilliant rays of sun that flashed through the trees all around me. Okay, time does heal all wounds, I guess. Hold on, I'm gonna go back, build up my willpower, and come back.